day, students. So today we'll be looking at equations again, but since we're breaking this piece by piece, if I could say, we are going to be looking at the fractional kind of equations, the equations that involve fractions and how we go about with them. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So we have x over 2 plus 3 equals x over 4 plus 5. Like we did in the previous video, we're going to try and separate the variables and the constants. The variables this side, constants on the right hand side. Okay, so let's check out for our variable. In this case, it's x over 4. So we have x over 4, and how do we get rid of it? We do the reciprocal of it, right? So like right now it's positive, and therefore we're going to try and add a negative x over 4 in order to get rid of it. And what you do on one side, you also do on the other side. Okay, and then you're left with positive 5 x over 2 minus x over 4 plus 3. But now this constant, you don't want it here. We want it on the other side because we want the constants all alone, variables all alone. Therefore, we're going to try and get rid of it. It's adding, therefore, we must remove it by subtracting that negative 3 and subtract on the other side as well. So we have 2x over 2 minus x over 4. Okay, and how do you add fractions? Okay, how do you add fractions? And we find the lowest common denominator. Okay, so we look at 4. Okay, we look at 4. Factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. Okay, 1, 2, and 4. So 2 can go into 4. All right, therefore we don't need to find the lowest common denominator, which when we add these two is going to be 8. No, 8 is too far. We can't just do this with the 2. Okay, and what we can do, 2 can go into 4. Right, how many times? 2 times. Therefore we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. Okay, so it's going to be 2x over 2 times 2 minus x over 4 equals to 2. Okay, and then we are going to have 2x minus x all over 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And you're going to have the same denominator, so you can just put it up as 1. All right. And now, let's look very careful. We have a 4 at the base. Now, we are dividing by 4 here. So how do we get rid of that 4? We multiply by 4. In order to get rid of a 4 that's dividing, we need to multiply by 4. And what we do on one side, we do on the other. Therefore, we're going to say 2 times 4. Okay? And then we're just going to be left with 2x minus x. 2 times 4, that's just 8. And then 2x minus x, that's x. And the answer is 8. Okay? The answer is 8. And we need to check for ourselves if what we did is correct. And indeed, it is 8 divided by 2. That's 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Plus 5, that's 7. Move on. My selector is so bad now. Okay. Second question, we have 2x over 3 minus x over 6 is equal to 7 over 2. Now, thank goodness, these variables are already on one side and the constants already on one side. Okay, so we don't have to worry ourselves as much. Okay, we don't have to worry ourselves as much, about removing and getting back, all of that stuff. We don't have to worry about that. Now, what we have to worry about is having the lowest common denominator, right? like it's having denominators that are the same. And we look at 3, we look at 6. Okay, 6 is bigger. But like, can 3 go into 6? Yes. How many times? 2 times. So we don't need to change 6 because 3 already goes into 6. So we just multiply. Say 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, so we just need to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. Okay, so it's going to be 2 times 2x over 2 times 3 minus x over 6 equals 7 over 2. Okay, that is 4x. That is 4x over 6 minus x over 6. Now, since these denominators are the same, we can just put it as 1, okay, divided by 6 is equal to 7 over 2. Alright, it is equal to that. And then our answer on top is 3x over 6 equals 7 over 2. Now, what do we see here? We see that, okay, we're dividing by 6. Okay, we are dividing by 6. Therefore, we can just say, the only way to remove the 6 is by multiplying by 6, right? The 6 is dividing. Therefore, the only way to get rid of it is multiplying by 6. We do on one side, we do on the other. So multiply 6 on the side as well. Okay, so the 6 and the 6 want to cancel out, and then we are left with, now with multiplication of fractions, numerator goes with numerator, denominator goes with denominator. And now we look at 7 times 6, that is 42 over 2. And what is 42 divided by 2? That is 21. Okay, and now we're going to say we want this variable all or no. Therefore, we're going to try and get rid of this 3. This 3 is multiplying, therefore we need to divide to get rid of it. Okay, and what we do on one side, we do on the other. And the answer is x, and then 21 divided by 3 is just 7. And then we come back here, substitute 7 here, substitute 7 over there. So 2 times 7, that's 14. 14 over 3, 14 over 3 minus 7 over 6. That gives you 7 over 2, which means our x is correct. So move on to our final question. I suck using this term. Okay. Now we have 3 is equal to 5x over 4, which is equal to 2x over 2. Right. Now, like I said, we want the variables one side and the constants on one side. Right, preferably the left. So let's try and get rid of this constant first. It's annoying me. Now 3. This is positive 3. Okay, only way to get rid of it is minus 3. Okay. And then what do we do here? We also add the negative 3. Then we are left with negative 5x over 4 is equal to, now 2 minus 3, that is what? Negative 1. Okay, that's negative 1 minus x over 2. Okay, now we're going to try and move this fraction part that has the variable to the left. Okay, so and how do we do that? We say minus 1 x over 2 plus x over 2, right? To the opposite. Then here we're going to have minus 5x over 4 plus x over 2. Okay, then we're left with negative 1 over here. Now, lowest common denominator. Okay, 2 is a factor of 4, So we can just say how many times, we can just say 4 divided by 2, right? Then we get 2, which means we need to multiply this numerator by 2 and its denominator by 2. And then we're going to have 2 times x and 2 times 2. Okay, hope that's clear. Then we have minus 5x plus 2x over 4. That is also over 4. Now, same denominators, we can write it as 1. And 5x plus 2x, what is that equal to? Is equal to negative 3x over 4, which is equal to negative 1. Now, a lot of people like to ask, hey man, this negative, is it on top? Is it on bottom? It goes with the fraction, okay? It goes with the fraction. Let me show you what I mean. Now, this 4, it's dividing here. We must get rid of it by multiplying. We can say multiplied by negative 4, okay? We can say I'm going to show you, I'm going to do this, right? We can say multiply by negative 4, okay? Let's just move this negative to this side, all right? We can say multiply by negative 4, and then what are we going to have? This side must also be multiplied by negative 4, okay? Then we're just going to have 4 on this side and 3x on this side, all right? And then our final answer will be x 4 over 3, all right? Because that 3, it's multiply, we need to divide it by 3. Just skip the step and then say 4 over 3 as our final answer. But what if we didn't take that route? Okay, what if we didn't? What if we just said, 4 and that negatives, we didn't do anything with it, we just left it there, okay? And then we multiply by positive 4, we need to multiply by positive 4 on the side as well, okay? So negative 1 times 4, it is negative 4. Then we are left with negative 3x on the left. Now we want the variable all alone, and what must we do? We must get rid of it, right, by using the opposite. And negative 3x, well, we need to divide by negative 3x again. We need to divide by this whole coefficient, okay? And what we do on one side, we do on the other, so we multiply by negative 3 on this side as well, okay? What are we left with here? Negative 3, negative 3 divided by negative 3, that's just 1, so we're left with x. Now, these negative signs, they're going to cancel each other, and then we are going to be left with 4 over 3. So it doesn't matter really, or like what you do, whether you multiply with the negative 4 first, or you just leave it, But I just know, rather stick with the negative as if it's on the numerator side, okay? It affects this whole thing. You can move with it, whether you're moving the denominator, all right? But I just prefer that like you stick with it, leave it there as if it's part of the numerator, okay? And yeah, that is it for today.